Today was the pre-order day for the GameCube edition controllers for Nintendo Switch 2, and I really wanted to discuss just kind of my experience with the pre-order thing, especially now that Switch 2 is less than a month away, and this is our last thing that we really needed, at least the last thing that I needed to pre-order from Nintendo. So let's get right into it. So we'll go back to April 2nd, where Nintendo actually announced the GameCube controller, the games coming to Switch Online, all of that. I've been very, I've always wanted to get a Switch Online controller, but I never, ever thought, I didn't think that the NES, SNES, or even N64 controllers were worth it. They're very expensive, and they don't really double as a, just a standard Switch 2 controller. Like, I don't think I could play like a game of Mario Kart with a freaking N64 controller. So, I waited and waited, and GameCube finally came up. We finally, now, with the Switch 2, perfect timing, actually, now we actually have, GameCube controllers coming to Switch Online. So, I initially checked on, May 8th, when, the invites for the Switch 2 pre-orders themselves on Nintendo's website ended up coming up live. Apparently, they were waiting. Apparently, you could only get it if you were an invited person to get the Switch 2 pre-order. But I was like, okay, whatever. But then we move until about probably a few days later, and then I noticed that Nintendo had at the bottom of their listing that it was going to turn into a Switch Online members exclusive purchase on the 13th. So immediately I'm like, okay, well, I gotta lock in on the 13th. So I started doing research on times on when Nintendo could possibly actually launch these pre-orders. I was checking at 10 o'clock on the 12th. I was checking all over the place, and I didn't realize that the pre-orders are tailored around Pacific Standard Time, not Eastern Standard Time. So they were actually due to start at, I believe, 10 a.m. Pacific on the 13th, which I missed by 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't actually get in line until probably 30 minutes after the pre-orders went live, which is not ideal for a product that is very high in demand, but essentially, I was fricked. I thought I was screwed. And to an extent, I was, because I waited and waited in line. I ended up getting in on my phone, but just gonna give you a heads up. If you're trying to pre-order something on your phone, don't, because it refreshes the page. So if you get added to a queue or a line, it'll just keep refreshing, and you'll just keep getting put back. You'll get put further back in the line. So I immediately boot up my computer, and good thing in hindsight I decided to do this, because the pre-orders were not out of stock. I kept checking Twitter, and this is the only time I ever go on Twitter, is for Nintendo purposes or pre-order or whatever. And people were still saying, hey, they're in stock, I just got mine, and these were like 10 minutes ago. So I thought maybe by miracle that I would be able to snag myself a Switch 2 Pro controller. A Switch 2 GameCube controller. And this is also a great thing I did in hindsight. I actually filmed the line in the checkout. I actually launched my OBS, connected my HDMI thing to my TV so I could have a second monitor, and I basically just had it recording. So I'll overlay the footage of that now. Not the checkout, obviously, I'm not doxing myself, but yeah, I was able to, after about 20 minutes of waiting, less than 20 minutes of waiting, I was actually able to get myself a Switch 2 GameCube controller, and I didn't buy myself the express shipping because that's so dumb. I'm not trying to have this day frickin' one, and the reason for that is because I'm gonna have other things to do with. Again, I got a Switch 2 Pro controller, I got the Switch 2 console. I've got a lot of controllers that I've got to talk about over the next little bit, and of course, we will be making a video on the GameCube controller. I'll tell you if it's worth it and all of that, so make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification, be greatly appreciated. But yeah, I was able to actually grab myself a GameCube controller for the Switch 2. And I just gotta say this, from all of the pre-order experiences that I had over the past month trying to get the Switch 2, trying to get the Pro Controller, trying to get all of that, Nintendo's main website was flawless. It didn't crash, it didn't do anything like that. It was very easy to just go and get it, and once the page went live, once I was out of the line, it just brought me to the actual GameCube page. I don't know if I was already on there in the first place, but yeah, no, it just brought me right to where I wanted to go, and I was able to quickly just check out. There was no latency, there were no issues. It was perfect. Nintendo had probably the most flawless and easy to understand pre-order experience that I've ever had, which is crazy. It's absolutely insane why some of these other retailers like GameStop, well, now EB Games over here in Canada, Best Buy, Walmart, I don't know why they can't, get up to snuff with Nintendo, because that was excellent. And I guarantee if you pre-ordered something on Nintendo's website, the GameCube controller, let me know what you guys think, because I'm actually really curious what your experiences are with that. But I had a flawless experience, and big up to Nintendo, man. You guys absolutely killed it. But I guess this opinion would change if my pre-order got canceled. Right now, it's currently processing, and I don't know if I've been charged. I should probably check my account at some point just to see. But right now, I'm pretty confident that I actually managed to get one. It was a $90 controller here in Canada, so you guys are very lucky to the $90 before tax too. It was not cheap, but you guys lucky if you get lower prices. But yeah, I am extremely excited for the Switch 2 the Switch 2 GameCube controller. Again, I've got an adapter, which I've got the Wii U adapter that worked with Smash Brothers 4 on the Wii U, but I've always wanted the Wavebird type of controller where it's wireless, all of that. But I wanted to wait until Nintendo started offering GameCube games on the Switch Online app and all of that, and they finally did. I have the expansion pass. I bought it last month because I figured now that it's probably worth it with the GameCube thing, and I even bought the family pass, so there's a bunch of people that I know that have access to it, and I am over the moon excited for the Switch 2 online experience. I will definitely make content about the GameCube app. If you guys, bro, listen, if you want Switch 2 content, subscribe to this channel. This is going to be the best place to get that content. I'm going to be making videos, discussion videos, actually me doing stuff as well, showing off games, streams, all of that. This is going to be a hub for Switch 2 content. So please, if you're excited, if you're just curious, even if you're a hater of the Switch 2 or my channel, then make sure you subscribe or watch, because we're going to be making some bangers, and I really hope that you guys are looking forward to all of it. I'm looking forward to just kind of talking about this sort of stuff, because it's exciting. I'm really excited to cover the next generation of Nintendo, and just kind of go through all the memories. My first thing I'm going to do with the GameCube controller is test it in Smash Brothers Ultimate, because that is a very important thing, because GameCube controllers work best with Smash Brothers, and I believe Smash Brothers also works best with GameCube controllers. So it's going to be very interesting to see if the GameCube controller is better than the wired one as well. We will probably also make a video. If you guys also want to see a video of Smash Brothers working with a GameCube controller, I will be sure to make one of those, because I think that would also be pretty interesting just to see, because I mean, I feel so nostalgic, man. I used to have one of those Mario Bros GameCube controllers for the Wii remote. It was the Hori one. It plugged right into the Wii remote, so I could actually, use a GameCube controller on the Wii. And I fell in love with it. I love GameCube controllers. It's my favorite controller that I've never actually played on the original console. And I am literally over the moon to, you know what? It almost feels like I'm getting two consoles on June 5th. The Switch 2 and a GameCube, because, again, I've never played GameCube games. N64 is a little, it's old. It's old enough for me to consider it retro. GameCube controllers or GameCube games seem more modern almost, and I'm just so excited to try Wind Waker. I'm excited to try Mario Strikers, and I'm excited to play Mario Sunshine with its native controller for the first time, because 3D All-Stars sucks. Absolutely sucks. But I hope you guys are excited for the Switch 2 generation. We'll probably make a video about just Switch 2 hype in general, because my opinion has very much gone, the negative opinion that I had, anything I had about Nintendo, it's kind of softened over the last little bit. I'm excited. I'm excited. We're less than a month away, and I literally just could not be more excited for this console. So, if you managed to get yourself a GameCube pre-order, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys had to do to get one. Probably wasn't easy, but we move. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment your thoughts, make sure you subscribe, do all of that, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.